everybody. Welcome to NextGen Expertise with Sunshine, sponsored by TempDev. On today's episode, we're going to be reviewing TempDev's quality dashboard. Now, for those of y'all that aren't familiar with our dashboard, it is quality-based, and it helps your practice elevate performance in quality programs like HEDIS, ACO, and MIPS. Let's take a look. Upon launching our quality dashboard, you'll recognize that there are 4 columns. These columns are indicated by preventative care, children and adolescents, preventative care, women's, adults, and seniors, care management specific conditions, and care management other. Our quality dashboard loads based on the patient's age, gender, and medical conditions. Considering that my patient is a 72-year-old female, none of these particular things are going to be applicable to her underneath the children and adolescent column. You'll also notice that there are some indicators here that are green, red, and yellow. In the top left corner, there is going to be a legend that gives the definition of what each of these indicators mean. For instance, if a measure has been met during the reporting period, that indicator light is green. When the indicator light is yellow, this signifies that this measure has been partially met during the reporting period. Anything in red means that this measure has not been met during the reporting period. And if you happen to find one with an exclamation mark, this is just letting you know that this measure cannot be met during the reporting period. As I stated earlier, anything with a white indicator means it is not applicable for this patient. Let's go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty of the quality dashboard. My patient is due for a medication review, and I know that because the indicator light here is red. Far too often when I'm out in the field, I get asked, Sunshine, am I documenting this correctly for my quality reports? Where our quality dashboard is really awesome is we take the guesswork out of what it takes to meet a measure. And what I mean by that is if you click on the button that's to the left of the measure, you're going to get some information on how to meet this measure. On top of that, we give you some helpful hints on where to document to meet this measure. We take it an additional step further in simplifying your process. By simply clicking on the title of the measure, this is going to launch in the template exactly where the documentation has to happen in order for you to meet the measure. So for instance, my patient was due for a medication reconciliation, and when I clicked on that title, the medication review pop-up came up. Let's go ahead and do a reconciliation of this patient's medication. I'm going to go ahead and say that a manual medication reconciliation was completed with the patient's personal medication list. We are going to document by exception by saying that this patient is taking all her medication as directed, and maybe she only takes her Xanax as needed. So by clicking on the Xanax, I'm going to say her adherence here is taking it PRN. And I'm going to go ahead and say that I did this medication reconciliation as a transition of care. From here, I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And I'm going to wait for my template to update. And you'll see because my medication review or my reconciliation was completed, the light is now green, letting me know that I have met this measure during the reporting period. Moving on to the care management column, I'm going to go ahead and see what I need to do for this statin therapy. My patient is a diabetic, and again, these are pulling from the patient's age, gender, and conditions list. Because my patient has a diagnosis of diabetes in her chart, this is letting me know that she has some diabetic conditions that need to be addressed during the reporting period. So when I click on the indicator to the left of the measure, this again is going to show me the details of that measure and how I can meet it. And again, some helpful hints on where to document it within the system. You know, just like I do, if I click on this statin therapy for diabetics, it's going to take me directly into where it needs to be documented in the chart. For this case, it's launching the medication module. So let's go ahead and prescribe a statin for this patient. I'm going to click on Prescribe New. And let's go ahead and prescribe this patient some Lipitor. All right, I'm going to prescribe this patient 90 tabs with 3 refills. I'm going to associate it with her problem of hyperlipidemia. and I'm going to accept that medication. So let's close out of the medication module. This should now update my statin therapy for diabetics. And if it doesn't, I do have a handy dandy refresh button here. When I refreshed it, it didn't turn green, it turned yellow. Let's click on the yellow indicator light to identify why this is turning yellow. As you can see here at the bottom, it reads the measure will turn yellow if the proportion of days covered, the PDC, is greater than 0% but less than 80% of the treatment period. So this is letting me know that it's less than 80%. The minute that I'm over 80% of the treatment period, this indicator light should turn green. Let's do another one. This is letting me know that my patient is due for BP control. So let's click on the icon to the left of the measure and see where we can go to document this. My helpful hints are saying that I need to add a diagnosis for diabetes through the Add Update Assessment pop-up, which my patient already has, and to also fill out both the systolic and diastolic fields for blood pressure on the vital signs extended pop-up. All right. My guess is if I click on this BP control, it's going to take me directly into the chart where I need to document that. And it does. It brought me directly to the vital signs. So I'm going to follow the directions. It's letting me know I need a systolic and a diastolic pressure. So I'll go ahead and say my patient's blood pressure is 130 over 70. We took that while the patient was sitting on the right brachial with an automatic adult cuff. I'm going to go ahead and hit save and close, and this should change the color. And it did. It automatically changed it to green, letting me know that I have met that measure. The last column I'm going to demonstrate is the care management other column. My patient is due for flu vaccination, so I'm going to click on the indicator bubble to the left of the measure. This is letting me know what I need to do in order to meet this measure, and again, where I need to go to document it. My assumption is if I click on flu vaccination, the immunization module will launch, and it does. My patient is due for a flu vaccination because she hasn't had one yet. So I'm going to go ahead and click on New to order her a flu vaccine. Let's go ahead and say that we're going to give her a flu vaccine, and my patient does have an allergy to latex, and you'll see that it defaulted yes here, but she's not allergic to neomycin, egg, or gelatin. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And I'm going to come to the vaccine details. I'll go ahead and choose a lot number and say that I gave this on the patient's left glute and it has been administered. I'm going to go ahead and hit save to save my changes and to save that to the chart. You'll now see that my patient is current on her influenza shot. And I'll close out of the immunization module. And if this doesn't automatically update, I'm going to hit refresh. And there it goes. It updated and is now green, letting me know that this measure has been met during the reporting period. Another feature that our customers love about our dashboard is that it is completely customizable. If there are measures that your practice is reporting on that are not listed in this particular set of measures, TempDev can remove or add measures to accommodate what your practice is reporting on. Another great feature of our quality dashboard is that it submits CPT2 codes on your behalf. So for instance, had I done a screening for depression today, this is going to automatically submit the 3725F code for me. Some miscellaneous features of our quality dashboard are the built-in module buttons built at the top of the dashboard. For instance, I can launch the procedures module, problems, allergies, meds, or orders by one click of a button. By clicking on the allergies module, that launches the allergies module, and so on. There are also built-in active text links to the screening summary, care guidelines, health promotion plan, and the ability to send a task directly from the dashboard. I hope you enjoyed this presentation on TempDev's quality dashboard on this episode of NextGen Expertise with Sunshine, sponsored by TempDev. If you're interested in purchasing our quality dashboard, you can send us an email at info@tempdev.com. You can give us a call at 888-TempDev. That's 888 TempDev, or you can visit us on our website at www.tempdev.com. Until next time, talk to you later.